I didn't feel a part of what Morgan was anymore. And I felt that the church or that God was taking my wife from me. So my name's Tony Hughes. I'm 30 years old. I'm married to my wife, Morgan. We have a 3-year-old son, Cameron. So when I was 16, I lost my father to cancer. It was a long, rough battle of me watching my dad just wither away. And fast forward 2 years, in 2008, August 3rd, I lost my stepfather, who was a New York State trooper killed in the line of duty. So having lost my dad and then my stepdad, my reaction to God was asking him, why don't you want me to have a father? I had to grow up really fast after that. When we started coming to church, I saw it more as a 60-minute TED Talk, and I was going to learn about church and God and Jesus. And it wasn't until we signed up for Foundations to where I really took a deep dive, and it uncovered a lot of unknowns for me. So the moment of crisis I came to at Foundations was my wife and I pulling up to community church, and I just had a physical aversion to getting out of the car and going inside. I had no idea why. I had no idea where it was coming from. All I knew is that it was painful. I was struggling most with that my wife found faith. It was a fork in the road. Morgan found her faith, and there was strength in her faith, and I was still left on the sidelines wondering what my faith was, wondering what it was going to be. And that was a big struggle for me, because everything that Morgan and I believe in, and our morals and values and our views on society, have always been in parallel. So what I had to sort out was whether my issue was with community church or whether it was with God. So I was exhausting myself with researching and looking on infamous Google for answers. And little did I realize that the answers would not come until I just hit pause and listened. God will come, you just need to make the appointment. So I met Pastor Brian at Starbucks, and I looked at Pastor Brian square in the eye, and I started sharing what my beliefs were. I told him I believed in God. I always have believed in God. I believed that Jesus existed. I believed he lived the way he did. I believed that he died the way he died. I was just struggling with whether or not that was enough. And when I shared that with Pastor Brian, he looked me square in the eyes and said, yeah, that is enough. And there we are, sitting at a Starbucks table, 5 feet from the cash register, and 2 grown men holding hands inside Starbucks, praying. And it was in that moment that I realized that I wasn't inadequate, and that my faith was enough, and that my baptism was going to be authentic, meaningful, and purposeful. So how Morgan helped me in this journey of faith is that she just gave me an unwavering sense of love and commitment. I remember her talking to me and saying, I love you more now than I ever have, and I don't care what you think. I'm telling you that I'm going nowhere, despite what you believe. So what this baptism means to me is surrendering to God and surrendering to my vulnerabilities. And instead of going one direction with all of the baggage and all of the loss and grief that I've experienced in my life, no longer going in that direction, but turning around and shedding all of that anger, all of that grief, all of that loss, and giving it to God and allowing myself to live in the direction of Jesus Christ.